Chapter 51. The two friends spent a while playing video games and reconnecting when, a little after 4, Adam said goodbye and went back to his car. He then sat there for a few minutes with his phone in his hands. He had Karen's number ready to dial, but he just couldn't call. He was so nervous. The phone rang for what felt like an eternity. Adam shook with anticipation. He gripped the steering wheel with his free hand, ready to hang up, when finally someone answered. "Hello?" said a lovely, playful voice. Hi, Karen? This is, Adam Young?" There was a long silence. Had she forgotten him in the 19 years since she last saw him? Ollie had said she'd talked about Adam a lot, right? "Adam from mean old Miss Meacham's class?" she asked. Adam considered the response. The two of them had shared that class their sophomore year of high school, but she'd asked the question as if she were talking to someone she never really cared for. Yeah, that's me." She sounded like she was trying to remember him. "I seem to recall an Adam Young moving to Texas a long time ago and never calling or writing like he promised," she teased. He grinned. "I never promised anything." Karen laughed. "Of course I remember you. I'm glad you called, but how did you get my number?" "Ollie gave it to me. I'm in town for a little while and you thought you and I could hang out?" she finished for him after he faltered. "Is that too much to ask?" He tried to sound sweet and pathetic. "Not at all. I'm not doing anything now if you want to come over to my place." Karen gave him directions. She had moved to a house close to the old barber shop Dad had taken him to, the place where Adam had found out about his father's affair. There was no barber shop now, though. It had been replaced by a cell phone store. Karen's neighborhood was old but cozy. He found her house at the end of the street. He found her at the end of her driveway. He pulled in front of the house and got out slowly. Karen stood there with her arms crossed. She wasn't smiling, but she didn't look unhappy either. She studied him, making him even more nervous. "What?" he finally asked. "So, Ollie still has my number." "Is that a big deal?" "For him, yeah. He hates me." "No, he doesn't. Why would he? You're a lovely girl." "He didn't tell you about the engagement?" "Yeah, he did." Adam suddenly understood. He should have seen it earlier. "You two were engaged, weren't you?" "He didn't tell you the whole story," she guessed. "No, he left out an important detail." "Yep, that's just like him. Come on inside." The house was one story, the front door opening into a dimly lit living room. Karen sat on a couch along the right wall. Adam sat next to her. She was smiling now as she looked over at him. "So," she said, "what's been going on with you?" Where to start? His life story was like a sci-fi movie. He didn't want to talk about it, so he tried to think of a way to spin it in a more positive light. He came up with nothing. "The truth it is, then. My dad died nearly 20 years ago. I work as a security guard for a dead mall, and I'm unmarried with no kids." Karen sat there, stunned at the flow of information he'd just given her. Then she said, "I'm sorry about your dad." "Thanks. Is life good, other than all that stuff?" "I manage." He grinned. "So, you and Ollie got together after I left?" Karen rolled her eyes. "Biggest mistake of my life." "Why did you do it then?" Adam couldn't contain his curiosity. She looked at him, and for a moment he wasn't sure she would answer. "Because he reminded me of you." "Say what?" Adam asked. "I remember how kind you were to me, how you went all the way back to Windsor Meadow in the snow to get my glasses after I lost them on the playground." My dad ungrounded me the next morning thanks to you. You remember that? Adam gulped. It seemed the universe let a lot of things slip. To this day, I still wonder how you got all the way to school by yourself. Adam toyed with the idea of telling Karen everything. Would she believe he was a time traveler? It's for me to know, he led. And me to find out, she finished. Would you believe I'm a time traveler and that I was actually a 35-year-old man at that time? She stared, eyes narrowed. I would, yes. Then that's what happened. He grinned. So, do you live here alone? No, I'm married. Hubby and baby are shopping. I needed some time to myself. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. So, you've had a good life? I have. My dad actually changed a lot after Glasses Gate. She laughed at her own joke. He realized he'd overreacted to that situation and actually became a little nicer for a while. That's good. Adam cleared his throat. It's pretty awful what's going on with Ollie. I almost didn't recognize him. Karen frowned. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him. I just couldn't anymore. We haven't talked in years. I feel terrible, though. You should see him, Adam said. He doesn't have much time left. I know. I will. Adam and Karen spent 30 more minutes catching up. Then he left, feeling lighter than he had in a while.